Girls, we need to talk, okay? Hey y'all, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Ariana Janae. Please go like and subscribe. You'll love it over here. Today, we are gonna do a little girl talk. I've been feeling like I need to sit down and just chat with you guys. Since I've gotten subscribers since starting my YouTube channel, I want it to feel like a community. And like I said, you'll love it over here. I want y'all to get to know me a little bit and kind of listen to like my opinions and views on things so that you can get to know who Ariana is. Without further ado, let's get into it. Like I said, today I'm going to be talking about some things that girls want to hear, because I know for some girls they don't have a person that they can talk to about certain things. Y'all can leave some comments about what you want to hear next, because I will be doing a part 2. So feel free to comment down below if I missed anything or if you want to hear me talk about something. I wrote down some topics here just to give me a little bit of an idea of what I was going to talk about today. The first thing that I'm going to talk about is hygiene. I know that hygiene can be a journey for all of us. It is so trial and error. We have the basics, but there are some things that I think that we all need to hear. How to take care of yourself, how to make sure that you are presenting yourself in the best way and that, you look good, you smell good, you look put together. The first thing that I want to talk about, which is really uncomfortable for a lot of people, and it was even uncomfortable for me to talk about, to my mom or like to whoever, even to my friends, but now I'm so open about it and I'm able to share. Let's talk about our health down there, okay? Let's talk about this girl. My one thing that I have even had to figure out is, what should I use down there? Like, what should I be putting down there and what should I not be putting down there? I think we all know that we should not be douching. Like, that is a part of the past generation, and like it's really bad for you. It's really, really bad for you. So what I recommend is either like a gentle like soap, like Dove or something. And I know that it can be irritating for some people, but like the best is water. But for me, sometimes like water just like doesn't do it always. So I personally use Honey Pot, especially for my time of the month, because I feel like it actually gets it really clean. I don't use it every day. I probably use it like every other day just to kind of get it in balance. But the key, do not wash inside, wash on the outsides, because you do not want to be putting any like chemicals or anything on the inside. Be careful with a lot of washes down there, because they'll market themselves as they're like really safe and they end up making you feel really itchy and they start to irritate you and it throws off your pH balance, which is not the goal. We want to regulate our pH balance. So I would also recommend, in addition to maybe like a gentle soap or like I said, like Honey Pot, I use a sensitive kind. I would also do boric acid. Honey Pot also makes these boric acid supplements. They look like little pills and you can actually put them up your, hoo-ha. It helps regulate your pH balance. So I know on the box it recommends you to use them after your period, after sex, or anytime that you feel like something's a little bit off. I always love to use them after my period because I feel like my period really throws things off. So it's important for me to get that back on track. So the next thing that I will say in terms of feminine hygiene is keep wipes with you at all times. I know that Target sells wipes called Down There wipes, and I really love them. Like, I swear by them, especially in the summer. You get a little bit sweaty down there, or when you're on your period and tissue is just not doing it and you just need to feel a little bit more clean throughout the day. Keep some wipes for down there. I would recommend doing that just to keep you fresh. Even if you're not on your period, just wipe throughout the day. Wipe one time in the middle if you shower in the morning, shower at night, wipe once in the middle. So going off of hygiene, some of my greatest hygiene tips, I've been seeing like a lot of things, like celebrities talking about, I don't take showers every day. Girl, what are you doing? We are women. We do need to take showers every day. I know that we get lazy. I know that sometimes life is hard and we just want to go to bed, but it's important to keep up with showering and keeping up with keeping yourself fresh and keeping up with staying fresh. Shower at least once a day. Whatever you want to do is whatever you want to do, but I would recommend showering once a day. In terms of products, I would say for me, what I do is I scrub with bar soap in the shower, and then I go in with a body wash afterwards, like a scented body wash. I love Dove. I'm such a Dove girl, so I use Dove bar soap and then a Dove body wash, and it keeps my skin smooth. I feel fresh after I scrub myself with bar soap. First, if I'm just doing body wash, it feels like it's not really getting in there and scrubbing the dirt off my skin. Bar soap scrubs that dirt off for me, and then the body wash is what I use with like a loofah or exfoliating glove or something like that. And then on top of that, like I said, with exfoliating gloves, I use a body scrub afterwards because that just gets you feeling real squeaky clean. My second hygiene tip is to brush your tongue. That is what causes odor. If you're having problems with bad breath, focus on brushing your tongue or scraping your tongue. Use an antibacterial mouthwash. I use TheraBreath and it has helped so much. Sometimes I'll oil pull my teeth, so I'll rinse my teeth with coconut oil, and I feel like it does wonders for my oral hygiene. So if you have not done that, I would definitely recommend it. My next topic is being secure in yourself and knowing yourself. Being secure in yourself is definitely a journey. It is hard to look at yourself in the mirror and love yourself. I think one of the hardest things to do is to look at yourself in the mirror, because the first thing that we do is criticize ourselves. We say things that we hate, we say things that we dislike, and that is the worst thing that you could do for your self-esteem. One of the best things that my mom could have ever taught me, and I will forever love her for this, is she told me, when you look at yourself in the mirror, tell yourself 3 things that you love about yourself. So whether that's you love your eyes, you love your hair, you love your nose or your cheeks, whatever that may be, you tell yourself those things every morning when you wake up. And over time, you will truly start to believe them. When I was in high school, I did that. Every morning I would wake up when I was getting ready and I would tell myself 3 things that I loved about myself. Anything that we put out into existence, we start to believe. So if you're putting out these positive things, your mind will start to believe them. These are psychological things. We spend too much time comparing ourselves to lives that are glorified. People are only showing the highlights of their life. That's what we're feeding our brains every day, is people going to do this, people looking like this. I'm going to get lip fillers, I'm going to get lash extensions. And then you don't have those things and you're like, well, I don't look like them. No, we may not look exactly like them, but that is okay. That does not mean that you're not beautiful. Is to take your focus off of those things that social media feeds us. Put that focus on yourself. Shift your mindset to how you can elevate yourself personally. Not comparing yourself to how can I look like so-and-so, but how can I feel the best in my own skin. Investing more time into yourself, doing more self-care, telling yourself these affirmations. You are pouring into yourself positively, and it will reflect that. You will reflect that. You will radiate that confidence. If you're walking around thinking that you are the ugliest person in the world, people are going to see that insecurity too. It takes a while to get there. I really started to actually truly love myself at the beginning of this year. Something shifted. I was like, okay, all right, I know that you are not ugly, you are not deserving, you are deserving, you are beautiful, and you need to show that. I've gotten to a place where I do love myself, and I'm very happy to say that, and 10-year-old Ari would be so proud at how she is right now, and I literally smile when I think about it, because I used to be so sad, and it like makes me like emotional thinking about it, because I used to be just so insecure, and I think that partially it was because I grew up in a predominantly white area, and I spent time comparing myself to girls that I would never look like, ever look like. And instead of loving myself for being different and for being beautiful in my own way, and I hope that this reaches some of you that are in that situation where you are surrounded by people that don't look like you, and that's okay. People think you're beautiful. That's kind of my spiel on being secure in yourself. But the next thing that I will say about being yourself is there's nobody like you. You are different. You are one of a kind, and you need to embrace that. You're not going to be like anybody else. You are unique, and being yourself is one of our greatest powers. That's also something that I'm learning. Even when speaking on camera, I feel like I freeze up and I'm like, why am I not being Ari? Like, what is there to hide? If people don't like me, then they don't like me, and that's fine. There are gonna be people that like you regardless. Mental health, one that we do not like to talk about a lot, the one that makes us feel very vulnerable to talk about. I honestly love talking about mental health because I was a psychology major, and mental health is something that I'm really, really passionate about. I am a behavior specialist, so I work with kids with, behavioral issues that have like mental illnesses or have behavior disorders. I see it every day. I also worked in a mental hospital and I saw the reality of mental health. I really did. It was different reading it in books versus seeing it. If you are feeling depressed or anxious or like you just feel this weight over you, I think that the best thing you can do, and I know that you hear this probably a lot, but genuinely is finding a positive coping skill. And what I mean by a coping skill, a positive one, right? Something that you can do that you enjoy, but it's not going to ruin any health aspect of you. And what I mean by that is drinking and smoking, whatever, that is not a coping skill. If you're in a place where at the end of the workday, you're like, I need a shot, that's an issue, okay? Like, we need to find positive outlets for coping. My personal outlet that I love when I'm feeling a little bit off or having an off day is I love to journal. I spent so many years putting my emotions in a shell. I hid everything from everybody, and I still struggle with this to this day. I don't really know why, but it's so hard for me to be vulnerable, and it makes me sad because I feel like I've studied this. I know that I'm supposed to talk it out. I know that I'm supposed to, face my emotions head on and not hide behind them, but I still continue to do it. Journaling has been the best outlet for me since it's really hard for me to talk about it to somebody. I just write it down, and once I'm done, I walk away and I close that book and I leave it there. When you are carrying that weight with you every day, it's gonna build and build and build, and then you're gonna break down. I have had endless breakdowns from just building so much stuff up over weeks, even months, and then going through, having a breaking point and breaking down and not knowing what to do because I have so much emotions that are just trying to come to surface. It's a hard thing to go through. Using that coping skill, like I said, journaling, reading, painting, cooking, whatever that is, using that instead of destructive behaviors, because the destructive behaviors are only making it worse. Another thing for mental health that I will say is I live in Minnesota. When it gets cold, the long winters, it's snowy, nobody's really going out, it's really easy to become depressed. What I advise is to also find things to do at home and find peace being alone and doing something that you enjoy. I am such a social person that I rely a lot on other people to have a good time. I think partially it's because I was an only child. I feel like I was alone a lot of the time. Until I was about 11 is when my sister came. 11 years that I spent alone made it really hard for me growing up to be alone. I always wanted company of somebody else, and I think that once I had a sister, it made it worse because I was like, oh, I always want to be with her. I always want to be with someone. So I'm trying to learn how to be alone myself, but I think that's something that we can all work on, is finding peace in being by yourself and insularity. It's something that you will get through. You just have to find something that you do like to do. Like I said, if that involves like watching TV or, cooking, watching YouTube even, like do that. Whatever you can do to help you be able to settle in and feel comfortable with being by yourself and not hang out with anybody, I think is also something that's really good for your mental health as well. My biggest takeaway is to not neglect it, right? Because the more that you neglect your anxiety, your depression, whatever it is, the worse that it will be for you. If you don't want to go to a therapist, if you don't want to talk to somebody about it, journal about it. I promise you, it'll change your life for sure. So for the last topic, for Girl Talk, I want to talk a little bit about content creating. and wanting to be a content creator and the challenges with being a content creator, the fear of wanting to be a content creator. I have wanted to start a YouTube, be consistent on TikTok for so long. I did start earlier this year posting on TikTok, but I still didn't take it as seriously as I wanted to because I was so afraid of what other people would think. I had the fear of perception. I had a fear of how I would be perceived by people that I know, or even perceived by people that I do not know and do not know anything about me. And that is the crazy part. I felt like I did not want people that know me to see my content. I didn't want anybody to make fun of me. But I was like, who is benefiting from that? I'm not benefiting from that at all. I am letting other people get in the way of something that I want to do. And I feel like that was so horrible. I cannot even fathom what was going through my head, why I cared so much about what somebody from high school thought about me posting on TikTok. What I did to kind of get over that is, it sounds really silly, really silly, but when I would post something on TikTok, I would literally throw my phone like across the room. I am laughing because I look back at it now and I'm like, oh my gosh, what were you doing? I would literally throw my phone across the room and I would not go on it for like an hour and a half. I was so afraid of what it would look like, what it would say, if somebody that I knew liked the picture or liked the video, whatever. For real, honestly, the best thing that I did was I wrote down what was I trying to accomplish out of content creating? What was my goal? First thing that I wrote down was that I wanted to build a community. I wanted to build an audience of people who connected with me, could relate to me. I wanted to be that friend that somebody needs. I thought, how am I gonna do that if I don't post? Nobody's gonna know who I am if I don't post. Nobody's gonna watch a video if it's not there. So what do? I slowly started posting. I posted like once a week. Honestly, I feel like I'm taking my own advice every day. I was never making things happen because I was afraid of what other people would think about me, and I let that take over the dreams that I had. I realized I ain't gonna make anything shake if I'm not putting the work behind it. If I am just letting these videos sit in my camera roll, they're doing nothing. Nobody's seeing them. I honestly realized if somebody has a problem with my videos that I know, let them unfollow me, let them talk. They're doing nothing for my life right now. They're not contributing anything. So if they see it, so be it. If you want to post and do YouTube and do TikTok, the rest should not matter. If that is your true goal, the way that you're envisioning your life right now, it should not matter. That's just how I feel about the situation, is just focusing on what the true goal of you posting is. And then the rest will fall in place. Girls, that is all for today's girl talk. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope that I gave you a little bit of advice that you were looking for. I do want to add more topics next time, but I do really want to hear what y'all have to say and what topics that you want to hear and what you don't want to hear, whatever that may be. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe so that I can make another part 2, okay? I will catch you guys later, and I hope that you have a great holiday. It is Thursday, December 21st, so Christmas is soon, New Year's is soon, so stay safe, stay happy, and stay productive. I love you guys.